Welcome once again to Mimi's Book Lounge, and let's review Hooked. Hooked, written by Asako Yuzuki. It's a Japanese novel written by a Japanese, of course. And this is my very first time of reading a Japanese novel. The first book by this author is named Butter, and I saw it first and I wanted to read it. And somehow I stumbled upon this. Remember, I told you, never trust a reader's next to be read because they change with the speed of light. Now I stumbled upon this and I felt, okay, let me read this first. In retrospect, I maybe would have preferred to have read Butter first. Not like they have any association or they are related in any way, but maybe, I don't know, maybe just thinking that Butter would have held more spice and attention for me than this one. But anyway, I enjoyed it and I finished it. That's the important thing. So Hooked is a story centered around Eriko Shimura, a Japanese lady in her early 30s who is believed to have the perfect life, the amazing parents, the perfect job, the perfect body, everything about her just 10, 10, 10 across board. But we are privy to the fact that everything is not as it seems with Eriko. She does not see herself as others see her. In fact, deep inside, Eriko is very lonely. She has not managed to be in a meaningful relationship all through her life, and this is so disturbing her that she sets about to get a best friend. However, this turns out to be a very dangerous mission, not for Eriko though, but for the person who she landed with, and her name was Shoko. Shoko is an unbothered housewife who is blogging, and she's writing her blog in a very unusual way because she does not want to be disturbed. She doesn't want to do what other housewives do. She just wants to be herself and write her blog and just glide through her days. And so Eriko happens to stumble upon her as they are living in the same neighborhood in Tokyo. However, Eriko has a picture of Shoko that she has painted in her head because of her blog, because she was reading her blog and she practically met Shoko first through her blog. She already has in her mind who Shoko should be, what she should be, what kind of things she should do and not do. However, this is not true because behind the blog, Shoko has her own life that is entirely different from what Eriko thinks. She is battling her sort of dysfunctional immediate family, as well as trying to sustain a relationship and a friendship with her husband. So I'm going to talk about various themes in this book as I perceive them, and the people who were sort of involved in these themes and how they were involved in it. And first I will start with the theme of validation. We will see that Eriko so wanted validation badly in her office, even in her neighborhood, everywhere she went. It was as if she was painting a perfect picture for others to see, and she wanted to be sure that others saw it. But the more she went for it, the more it was just eluding her. She was quite lonely and she needed friendship, but she was going about it in a very sort of wrong way. And it wasn't just about the need for a friend. She also wanted the world, the society, her office, everybody close to her parents to see that, okay, I have landed a friend. She just wanted to be seen as that lady who has a glamorous life, a perfect life, has everything in line for her, has friendship going on for her, she's already seen as the person who has the perfect job, although thanks to her father. So her need for validation was overriding reason in her, and it was almost destructive. But I liked the fact that at last she came to her senses and saw that she was actually just chasing wind. Now, the second theme I would like to talk about is the theme of social media impact, appearances versus reality. I think this theme is recurring a lot in recent books because this theme about social media impact and what it has done to a whole lot of people, it cannot be overemphasized. Really, it cannot. People tend to paint the picture they see in social media as if it's real life. It may be real life in some cases, but in many cases, it's not. But many people fail to realize that. Like I said, in Eriko's case, she had already painted an image of Shoko in her mind, seeing her blog before she met her. And this is true of many of us, really. Because of many celebrities, influencers, and a whole lot of people that our first meeting of them is social media. Whatever social media feeds us about them. And it does feed us a whole lot of glamour and what they want us to see. And so we paint this picture, we carry it in our mind that this is how these people are meant to be. But eventually when they make a mistake, it causes a whole lot of upheaval or things like that. These people, how could they do this? Oh, so this was how their life is, and all manner of things. But truly, they were just being human, showing you the picture they wanted you to see. So Shoko was writing her blog. However, in Shoko's own case, really, she wasn't really painting glamour. She wasn't really painting things that were entirely different from her real life. But Eriko somehow drew an entirely different meaning and perception. When she came closer to Shoko, she just happened to refuse to accept the real Shoko. Just for a reason that I cannot tell. Like, you're seeing this person before you. She is showing you, this is who I am. I can't change. I will even give it to Shoko that she didn't feel the urge to hide herself. She didn't feel the urge to maybe kind of try to level up to be like, okay, I have a blog, so I'm a celebrity, so you should be seeing me in this light. She didn't try. She didn't make any effort. She continued to be herself. But somehow Eriko was not getting it. She just wanted that picture that she herself had painted. That was what she wanted in Shoko. It's funny, right? But I mean, that was what we got to see in this book. Remember when I said I needed all the zen I can get to finish this book? Eriko was going gaga. Another theme which this book explored was the theme of friendship. Okay, so another thing which I needed zen for, like, calming myself down, was that I never believed that friendship was a big deal until I read this book. I mean, yeah, people have really made great friends, but the kind of energy, strength, resources that Eriko was putting into having the tag of best friend, it was so irritating. Like how? I thought friendship, to me, friendship, you nurture friendship, right? You can actually like someone and try to cultivate a friendship with that person. But then if it's not working, you should know. And for a lady who was 30-something years, she should have read the handwriting on the wall. But her case was more of an obsession and maybe with a mental undernote because it was going out of hands. Friendship may mean a whole lot to different people. It may mean just something to just pass the day with. Oh, you're in my office or you're in my workplace and we get along with each other, or we attended the same school and we somehow got along with each other, or just things like that. And you nurture it, you let it grow, but then you also involve the other person. You also consider the other person, like, Is this person reciprocating it? Does this person feel the way I feel? And if the friendship is not going through, I think it's something to let go and not maybe have hard feelings for or something. Maybe there may be hard feelings if a whole lot has been invested in the friendship. I understand, but I used to think that what needed all this kind of energy was maybe maintaining a kind of the different gender relationship, a relationship between a male and a female kind of thing that may eventually lead to marriage or a long-term partnership or something like that. But for female friendship, oh, I was like, there are other people. But well, she had her reasons. She felt, because of the picture she had already painted, she felt that Shoko was the only person who could understand her. She felt that she was in the same shoes as Shoko. Somehow she believed that she and Shoko had so many things in common. But believe you me, I did not see one thing that Eriko and Shoko had in common. It was just all in her head. Even Shoko herself could not. I pity Shoko a lot. Even she herself could not see it. I mean, who blackmails people into being their friends? That was Eriko. She just had to blackmail Shoko into being her best friend. But I will also give it to her that she came to her senses eventually. So she's forgiven. The next theme is the theme of marriage. And marriage, I have seen that it means a whole lot to different people. For Shoko, marriage meant companionship, which I definitely relate to. It meant companionship. However, I think she realized that a tad late because her marriage cracked. For Eriko's parents, marriage meant a necessity, just as society put it. A man, a wife, and the child or the children, and just live, coexist with each other, make lives bearable for each other. For Shoko's parents, marriage meant a lord and a servant relationship, where the servant serves and serves and serves until she breaks down or dies or leaves. In Shoko's parents' case, her mom had to leave. She was the servant, obviously. And the master or the lord, who was her father, dwindled into a poor quality of life because he couldn't do anything for himself. He couldn't help himself. Now, there was also a lady in Eriko's company. Her name is Maori. Now, Maori was about to wed Eriko's colleague. So Maori was a junior staff, and she was about to wed someone who was in the same category as Eriko. Now, for Maori, marriage meant a backup. Marriage was, to her, it was security. It was for sustainability. It was more like her bank. She was looking for a man she could depend on money, she could depend on to provide for her, where she may not have to work or may not have to supply for her family anymore, because that would eventually be the man's job. And I wonder how she held on to this marriage, even when it was obvious they were about to wed, or maybe they had been engaged as the time of this story. But we will see that there was no love lost between she and the man in question. But she held on to this marriage like her life depended on it and would not let go. Like, even when it was as if the man was literally begging to detach himself from her. But no, you must marry me. Oh God. That lady was something else, and she also messed up with Eriko big time. But whatever Eriko got from her, she deserved it because she was the one that looked for her trouble. So yeah, And for these several types of marriage perceptions, I know that aside this book, different people have their different perceptions of how marriage should be, and many fall into these four categories that I listed. Those were the things that I picked up from this book, Hooked. Did I enjoy the book? Yeah. And I think the irritating part of what Eriko was doing, blackmailing Shoko, going lengths just to have a best friend, and her thought patterns that were revealed in the book and all that, was intentional by the writer, just to spice up things and make you think that, is this person really exist? Like, are you for real? Do you actually think like this? And it will surprise you to know that actually some people's thought patterns are like that. And in as much as I want to believe that there may be a mental undernote to Eriko, of which it was not said anywhere in the book that Eriko had a mental problem, I may want to believe that, but I wouldn't put it past the fact that many people who think like that do not have any mental issues with them. That is just their thought patterns, and that was the way they were brought up. We would see that in some places, some of her interactions with her bosses, her neighbors, they were always pointing to the fact that she was expressing some character traits of her family, of her parents. So it must have been a character trait that was handed down. Maybe her parents were also some sort of people that needed validation. She was working in the same office as her father. Her father worked in that office and retired. So he was a top executive before he retired. So for that reason, she got easily into the company. It was a fish company. I heard a whole lot of fish names that I had not heard before. I just happened to realize that the Japanese eat fish a whole lot. They eat fish a whole lot. So I heard a whole lot of fish names that I may not even be able to pronounce. But she was in charge of a project called Nile perch. Nile perch is a very big fish, and that was the very first time I was coming across that name of fish. So she had the project of handling the Nile perch, about bringing it into Japan and all that, though eventually the project had to be given to someone else. This is my first Japanese novel. Heard a lot of names that I'm sure I may not be able to pronounce. Had some food that I had to browse. But it made it fun, really. It opened me up to what Japan could be like. Maybe I should think about visiting Japan one of these days so that I will see all that Asako Yuzuki wrote in her book Hooked. And I will read Butter, definitely. So I'm sure I'm going to see more and more of that. And who knows, maybe if Butter hooks me, if Butter hooks me a lot, I may go and find other books written by her. All right, amigos, this is where we'll come to the end of this review. I hope you enjoyed it. What do you think about Japanese books? Would you give it a try? All right, until next time, see you later. Bye-bye.